Hello, and thank you for your interest in the Streetscape Master Plan for Dundas Street, Argyle Core Area project. This marks our second public update and opportunity for your feedback. The purpose of this public update meeting is to present the draft preliminary streetscape concept and design elements, gather your feedback on the concept completed to date, helping inform the Streetscape Master Plan, and to learn about the next steps of the project and how to be kept involved. As a reminder, the project study area spans from Highbury Avenue North to just east of Wavell Street, as shown here by the green dashed line. Let's talk about our project timeline. We kicked off Phase 1 in August last year, with work concluding in November 2023. Right now, we're in Phase 2, which focuses on developing a draft preliminary concept and supporting design elements. The third public update meeting is set for March, where we'll present the final Streetscape Master Plan. After that, we'll work on finalizing the master plan and design guidelines, aiming to conclude by April of 2024. On November 7th, 2023, the first public update meeting for this project took place to introduce the project and provide an opportunity to gather valuable feedback from the community, both in person and through an online questionnaire. Feedback was gathered from one-on-one discussions, surveys, and interactive engagement activities. To gather your feedback, we organized 3 engagement activities around the room. Public input was collected at the 3 activity stations that were structured around the following themes: preliminary guiding principles, vibrant and green streetscape, and safe mobility and connectivity. The following are images of the public's input received from the 3 engagement activities. Key themes that were gathered from the public's input included safety, more lighting, greening, maintenance, more pedestrian-friendly, and more incentives for businesses, to name a few. These key themes were integrated into the draft vision, as shown here. This vision for the Streetscape Master Plan will guide future development within the Dundas Street corridor in the Argyle core area. Guiding principles are the core elements that define the concepts and strategies for achieving the vision for the Streetscape Master Plan. These principles were developed based on feedback from the public consultation process and research on best practices. These principles include improving mobility, improving pedestrian realm and safety, strengthening the Argyle core community, promoting economic vitality, and improving green connections. When we're planning how things should function and feel in this area, we're being careful to understand the broader context and build upon what's already here. We want to make sure any changes fit well with the surroundings. And as we think about making improvements along Dundas Street, it is important to look at the short, medium, and long-term solutions reflecting the needs of the neighborhood. As we move forward, we are gaining a clear understanding of how the streetscape operates and identifying opportunities for improvement. By understanding of the broader context within the area, considering factors like zoning, setbacks, road right-of-way widths, natural heritage features, current and planned active transportation routes, traffic flow, and utilities, we can develop the streetscape design so that the public realm is a place where people will enjoy walking in, feeling safe, invited, and with the enhancements that beautify the area. The draft concept plan shown here illustrates the potential implementation of all the identified opportunities in one diagram. The streetscape plan is divided into 3 distinct streetscape typologies or segments, which reflect the street function, planned active transportation routes, and current right-of-way widths. The streetscape typologies have been characterized as the pedestrian-oriented enhanced streetscape, which is the central zone outlined in yellow, the transit village streetscape, outlined in blue at the west entrance into the corridor, and the multimodal enhanced streetscape, which are the 2 areas outlined in purple at the west and east entrances into the corridor. The concept plan also looks at opportunities to achieve the overall vision of a high-quality public realm through inclusion of gateways, gathering spaces, and activity nodes, including improvements to intersections that reflect the needs of multiple modes of travel such as walking, cycling, transit, and vehicular. These streetscape typologies and opportunity areas are illustrated in more detail in the following slides. First, we'll look at the pedestrian-oriented enhanced streetscape, which is generally applicable to the area east of the bridge at Pottersburg Creek to Clark Road. Concept options are illustrated in the following cross-sections A, B, and C. This corridor is generally characterized with a narrower right-of-way with zoning setbacks of around 0 meters, which means there are some limitations in implementing beautification improvements to the pedestrian space. In this segment, our focus is on providing more safe movement of pedestrians along the streetscape. There are potential opportunities to provide beautification features in the proposed mid-block medians and where the right-of-way width increases east of Beatrice Street. Shown here in cross-section A, the key elements of this scenario include maintaining the existing 5-lane cross-section, which includes the center 2-way left turn lane. The pedestrian realm space ranges between 2.5 and 3.5 meters, which can be characterized with a 1.8 to 2 meter wide concrete sidewalk, a 1.5 meter wide sodded boulevard or curbside furnishing zone, improved pedestrian scale lighting, and integrating standalone planters where feasible. Cross-section B illustrates an alternative option to cross-section A that is being explored. For this scenario, the center 2-way left turn lane has been removed, narrowing the road cross-section and effectively providing more space for pedestrians. Key features of this scenario includes a wider pedestrian realm that allows for wider sidewalks and a wider boulevard between the sidewalk and the road. This provides more opportunity for streetscape features such as low curb planters, seating, and waste and recycling receptacles. There is also potential opportunity to provide a landscape buffer between the sidewalks and adjacent parking lots. The next slide, we will look at some of the advantages and disadvantages with this option of the removal of the 2-way left turn lane, which are important considerations as we further develop the Streetscape Master Plan. The following are some advantages and disadvantages with this design alternative of the removal of the 2-way left turn lane. The advantages are can provide additional space in the boulevard to improve the public realm by widening sidewalks, adding landscaping and streetscape furniture, and can reduce the crossing distance at mid-block pedestrian crossings. The disadvantages are there are frequent low to medium volume driveways within the corridor that benefit from the 2-way left turn lane, and adding turning traffic to the through lanes impacts traffic safety and capacity, including transit and emergency vehicle movement. Removal of the 2-way left turn lane will require further traffic studies to support this design alternative. Next, cross-section C, which is the typical condition from Beatrice Street to Clark Road. This section is characterized by a wider right-of-way. Key elements of this scenario includes maintaining the existing 5-lane cross-section, including the center 2-way left turn lane, a wider pedestrian realm, which generally ranges between 6 to 6.5 meters on the north and south sides. The pedestrian realm on the north and south sides can be characterized with wider sidewalks and a wider green boulevard, which may include tree planting and sod, street furniture such as benches, and improved pedestrian scale lighting. Opportunities to provide a landscape buffer between the sidewalks and adjacent parking lots are also feasible in this scenario. Next, we'll look at the Transit Village Streetscape and the Multimodal Enhanced Streetscape in the West Corridor. Concept options are illustrated in the following cross-sections D, E, F, and G for this West Corridor segment. The Transit Village Streetscape, shown here in Section D, is part of the East London Link Rapid Transit Corridor improvements. This segment also marks the entrance into the Argyle core area. In this section, the pedestrian realm can be characterized with 2 to 2.5 meter wide sidewalks, a sodded boulevard, including streetscape furniture along the walkways, such as benches, updated street lighting consistent with City of London standards, and a center raised median with an opportunity to include gateway features such as low curved planters or a unique sculptural element to mark the entrance into the Argyle core area. Opportunities to provide new street tree planting on the south side with potential on the north side in key locations and in coordination with overhead utilities. The multimodal enhanced streetscape options in the West Corridor are illustrated in the following cross-sections E, F, and G. This segment is characterized by the integration of the proposed cycling routes as per the London Plan, distinct placemaking elements such as gateway features, mid-block raised medians, gathering spaces or activity nodes, and improvements to the public realm where the right-of-way widths are wider. Although there are some limitations to the segment due to a narrower right-of-way as shown in Section F, generally the key features in this segment include a separated 2-way cycle track on the south side, gateway features such as mid-block raised medians with curved planters of native grasses and perennials, wider concrete sidewalks, and wider sodded boulevards with the potential for street tree planting where space allows. Furnishing zones between the sidewalk and the roadway are also proposed in key strategic locations, which may include curbside planters, street furniture, and improved street and pedestrian lighting. The multimodal enhanced streetscape options in the East Corridor, from Clark Road to east of the Argyle Mall, are illustrated in the following cross-sections H, I, and J. Similar to the West Corridor, this segment is also characterized by the integration of the proposed cycling routes as outlined in the London Plan, gateway features, potential for mid-block raised medians with decorative plantings, gathering spaces, and overall improvements to the public realm. This segment has a wider right-of-way ranging between 36 and 38 meters, allowing for more opportunity for multimodal travel. Key features include a separated 2-way cycle lane on the north and south sides to facilitate safer and better movement between cycling routes and key destinations, gateway features such as mid-block raised medians with ornamental grasses and perennials, wider concrete sidewalks that range between 2 to 3 meters wide, including wider sodded boulevards with the potential for street tree planting where space allows. Furnishing zones between the sidewalk and the roadway in key strategic locations may include curbside planters with decorative grasses, perennials, street furniture, and improved street and pedestrian lighting. The last cross-section in the multimodal enhanced streetscape, Section J, illustrates typical improvements to the public realm at or near signalized intersections. Key improvements include the 2-way cycle lanes on the north and south sides, an improved pedestrian realm that includes wider sidewalks, and a furnishing and planting zone with spaces for benches, planters, and street tree planting. Improvements to London transit stops in key locations may include larger paved areas with additional amenities such as bus shelters, benches, waste and recycling receptacles, and street tree planting. Next, we'll explore special areas along the streetscape called gathering spaces or activity zones, which are illustrated by the orange circles. These are spaces within the public realm where people can rest, socialize, and participate in activities or events. They provide opportunities to connect to local open space and encourages exploration. Gathering spaces may include new paving standards for the Argyle core area, site furnishings such as benches and bike racks, signage, shade through a shade structure or by shade trees, decorative planting, and feature lighting. The Streetscape Master Plan focus for intersection crossings is to support the improvement, aesthetics, safety, and accessibility of the public realm for the benefit of pedestrians. The next two slides will provide an overview of some of the proposed intersection and sidewalk improvements that are being explored. First, we'll look at multimodal intersection crossings, which are indicated by the red squares. Improvements for multimodal intersections will focus on ways for all modes of traffic to cross intersections more safely. Designs can include signalized crossings, improved lighting, designated crossing markers, and covered bus shelters. The Streetscape Master Plan should encourage and support pedestrian movement and improve pedestrian safety by providing better pedestrian infrastructure at all intersection crossings. Design features for the following typical intersection crossings, which locations are illustrated as the blue squares, include marked crosswalks at every intersection, tactile warning plates, new traffic signals at intersections that lack them, graphic asphalt pedestrian crossing treatments, expanded sidewalks in areas where the clearway bends or narrows, reduced curb radii to provide shorter pedestrian crossing distances, and improved lighting. On the sidewalks, a consistent strategy that prioritizes the pedestrian experience should be employed to create a higher quality public realm. City standard materials and details can be thoughtfully integrated into the streetscape design with design elements that are unique to the Argyle core area, such as color selections of site furniture, banner flags, and pavement patterns that are distinct to this area. The following two slides highlight some of the proposed improvements. New and more street furnishings such as bike racks, benches, and garbage and recycling receptacles. A consistent paving strategy along the corridor with unique elements that can be integrated at key strategic locations. Improvements to the overall streetscape lighting, looking at potential new pedestrian scale lighting and improvements to the street lighting, improvements to transit stops, including new bus shelters and shade trees, expanded paving areas for better circulation, and more amenities such as bike racks and benches. And last, providing a comprehensive planting strategy that integrates a greening approach that acknowledges the site constraints such as overhead and underground utilities, which may limit where new trees can go. So looking at planting approaches that may include curbside planters or median planters with native grasses and perennials. Street trees and sodded boulevards where space allows are also a part of the overall planting strategy. Concluding our presentation of the preliminary Streetscape Master Plan, it is important to note that the timeline and opportunities to implement the recommendations from this study will be reviewed and coordinated with future infrastructure renewal and development projects. This slide highlights the upcoming infrastructure renewal projects in the area. These timelines are subject to change based on approvals. Looking ahead, our focus shifts to refining the streetscape design for the future vision of the Argyle core area along Dundas Street. Your next feedback opportunity will be in March 2024 during our next public update meeting. We value your feedback. Please provide us with some information to help shape the Streetscape Master Plan using the survey questionnaire provided on the project's Get Involved website. Thank you for your interest and participation in the Streetscape Master Plan for Dundas Street, Argyle core area. For the latest updates, please visit the project's Get Involved website. You can also contact Andrew Denemy and Stephen Funk on the City of London team, or Kate Preston, the project manager from Dillon Consulting.